Hey guys, it's Ethan here. Today, I want to share my journey, how I learned English. Not from school books or boring lessons, but from real life, mistakes, and a lot of funny moments. To be honest, when I first started learning English, I hated it. It felt impossible. The grammar was confusing, the pronunciation sounded strange, and every time I tried to speak, my mind just went blank. I remember my first English class at school. The teacher asked, "What's your name?" And I completely froze. I knew the answer, but the words just didn't come out. Everyone laughed a little, and I felt so embarrassed. After that, I stopped trying for a while. I thought, maybe English is just not for me. But deep down, I wanted to understand movies, songs, and people from other countries. So one day, I made a decision. I would try again, but in my own way. I started small. Every night, I watched short clips from YouTube in English. At first, I didn't understand almost anything, but I turned on subtitles, and slowly, things started to make sense. Then I found something that really helped: music. I loved listening to songs and reading the lyrics. I noticed how words sounded in real speech, and sometimes I even tried to sing along. Badly, but with passion. The funny thing is, after a few weeks, I started recognizing words everywhere. On t-shirts, in games, even on product labels. It felt like English was suddenly everywhere around me. Of course, I still made mistakes. A lot of them. Once, I tried to text an online friend and wrote, "I am boring," instead of "I am bored." He laughed and said, "Well, I hope not." That's how I learned to laugh at my own mistakes. Little by little, my fear started to disappear. I realized that the more I used English, the more confident I felt. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And that's what mattered.
Looking back now, that was the hardest part. Starting from zero and believing that I could do it. But that's where every journey begins.
After a few months, I started to notice something strange. I was actually enjoying English. It wasn't just a school subject anymore. It became part of my day, like music, like coffee in the morning. I began to look for new ways to learn. One day, I found an English learning app. It had short daily lessons and funny animations. At first, I used it just for 5 minutes a day, but soon, I couldn't stop. Then I discovered something even better: movies without subtitles. The first one I tried was Spider-Man. I probably understood only 30% of it, but it felt so cool to catch real words and expressions. Every time I recognized something, I smiled to myself like a kid. I started keeping a small notebook. Every time I heard a new word or phrase, I wrote it down and made my own sentence with it. For example, I heard "take it easy" and wrote, "I should take it easy after exams." It helped me remember words much faster. But the biggest step for me was talking to real people. At first, I was terrified. My accent was strong. My grammar wasn't perfect. But I found a small online community where people practiced English together. Everyone there was learning, so no one judged anyone. We used voice messages and short video calls. The first time I spoke, my voice was shaking. I said something like, "Hi, my name is Ethan, and I'm learning English." They smiled, clapped, and said, "Great job." That moment changed everything. From then on, I practiced speaking every week. We talked about hobbies, food, travel, anything. Sometimes I made funny mistakes, like saying, "I'm studying chicken" instead of "I'm studying kitchen." Everyone laughed, and I laughed too. It didn't hurt anymore. It was fun. I also started journaling in English. Every evening, I wrote a few sentences about my day, what I did, what I felt, what I learned. At first, it took me 20 minutes to write one paragraph, but after a few weeks, my thoughts started to flow naturally.
9. What really surprised me was how much my confidence grew. I didn't even notice it at first. One day, I was chatting online with a native speaker, and after 10 minutes, I realized I wasn't translating in my head anymore. I was just speaking. That was when I understood. Learning English isn't about memorizing every rule. It's about using the language, living with it, and making it yours. And for me, that changed everything. 10. A year later, I realized something crazy. I could actually speak English. Not perfectly, not like a native speaker, but well enough to have real conversations, to share my thoughts, to connect with people. I remember the first time I met a tourist in my city. He asked me for directions, and without thinking, I just answered in English. No fear, no pause. It just came out naturally. After he left, I smiled the whole way home. Then I started watching interviews and podcasts. Before, I used to avoid them because they felt too fast. Now, I could actually understand the jokes, the emotions, and the stories behind every word. It was like a whole new world had opened up. English also helped me meet amazing people online. I joined creative communities, talked with designers, musicians, and travelers from everywhere. We shared ideas, gave feedback, and even worked together on small projects. That never would have happened without English. One day, a friend from the community said, "Hey, our team needs someone who can edit videos and speak English. Are you in?" I didn't even think twice. I said yes. That small decision turned into my first international project. And that's when I finally understood. English isn't just a language. It's an opportunity. Sometimes people ask me, "Ethan, are you fluent now?" And I say, maybe not 100%, but I'm fluent enough. Fluent enough to express myself, fluent enough to keep learning, fluent enough to live a bigger life. Because learning English isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave. Brave enough to speak, to make mistakes, and to keep going. Every word, every sentence, every moment of doubt was worth it. Now, when I look back at that shy kid who couldn't even answer, "What's your name?" I just want to say, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for trying again, even when it felt impossible.
9. So, if you're learning English right now, keep going. You don't have to be perfect. Just be consistent, be curious, and be patient with yourself. Because one day, you'll look back and realize you're living the dream you started with. And who knows, maybe English will change your life too, just like it changed mine.